Hello all, my name is Devanand and I am the inventor of Aran Blocks. Now, some of you may be familiar with the old Aran Blocks. I am here to introduce to you the new and improved Aran Blocks. As you can see, the new Aran Blocks is considerably smaller than the old version, as well as has far more rounded edges, just so that they are a little bit more comfortable in the hands of children. In principle, the blocks are still the same, but the new version is far more versatile. Just a quick instruction on how to build with the Aran blocks. These are the tops of the Aran blocks and these are the bottom. This is what we call the top protrusion, as it is closer to the top, and this is the bottom protrusion. These are what we call the top slot, and these are what we call the bottom slot. Basically, the top protrusion goes into the top slot of a corresponding block. Now, children get this part pretty quickly. However, the bottom protrusion, which goes into the bottom slot, is a little bit less apparent, and it's best children get familiarized themselves with that pretty soon. Now, having said that, the new version allows for the bottom protrusion to fit into the top slot, as well vice versa, the top protrusion can fit into the bottom slot as well. Now, when you build like this, it obviously builds in a stepped fashion. It's just to allow for the system to have a little bit more versatility, but ideally you want the top slot to go into the top protrusion and the bottom protrusion to go into the bottom slot. Now, once you've built this, the other part of the system are the covers. Now, the covers just snap right on top of the block, like so. And once you put another cover onto a corresponding block, they line up perfectly. Now, today I thought I'd give you a quick instruction on how to build with Aran blocks. Now, I could have shown you how to build something useful like this, little steeped shelf that I made a little earlier, or something playful like this dinosaur over here. The Aran block system is extremely versatile and it allows for the building of many different types of structures. However, I think it would be best if I showed you how to build something a little more complex, such as this house that I built. This house has windows, as you can see over here, and even a working door. Now, structures like this require a little bit more planning and thought before you undertake it. We feel it's a great system to teach children how to plan ahead, as well as the slightly complex nature of building this gives children a little bit more satisfaction and pride when they finally get to build it. So, the first thing I'd like to tell you how to build with Aran blocks on structures like this is you need to build it layer by layer. So you have to plan what your first layer of blocks is going to look like, and then build the second layer, and so forth and so on. So, I've pre-built some layers to make sure this video is not too long. But essentially, just looking back at what I built, you'll notice that on this side, all the walls have the bottom protrusion lined up. Similarly, if you look at the front of the house, all the top protrusions are lined up. Now, we've got 5 blocks lined up with the bottom protrusion on the side, which is what I've built here. But we also have, if you look at the bottom structure, 1 extra piece on the side that serves as the front wall. So that's what I've built here. 5 bottom protrusion on the side and 2 in the front. This forms the back wall, which would obviously have the same side as what the front wall would have. 4 pieces lined up facing the front, 4 top protrusions lined up. So we would just slot it like so. Similarly, the right wall has, similar to the left wall, bottom protrusions lined up, and we would just connect it like this. Now, For the second layer, it gets a little bit tricky. Notice that it's not a complete line over here. We've left a few blocks out so that it forms the window. We can do the same at the back, leave these two blocks out, and they would form the rear windows. So, just looking carefully at what is formed at the second layer, we've got two blocks forming the front wall, one in the corner of the right wall, and on the sides we have only the last two forming here. So what we would do is we would take two pieces with the front top protrusion lined up, place them at the left front corner. Similarly, one piece for the right front corner. At the back, given that we want to make a window at the back as well, you make a little L-shaped piece like this, which would go, one of it would go to the rear right hand corner and the other to the left rear corner. Now it's important to notice that even though these blocks stand separate, there's no connection piece, the bottom protrusions still line up. Moving on to the third layer, you'll notice that it's very much like the first layer, except it has an extra block in front that forms the hinge for the doors. So I made this earlier, if you notice. It's got three pieces on the left side with the top protrusion facing forward instead of two of the bottom one. And just like the other lines, bottom protrusion facing one way and all the fronts have the top protrusion. Now this can change. All it matters is that you're consistent between the layers. There. We've built the structure of our building with three nice windows. Now we've got the door piece. Now the door piece essentially is just 4 blocks across. Again, you have to build this layer by layer, 2 side by side. And we just put it into the hole over there, and that makes our door. The roof itself, I went with a rather simple design for this one. It's just 5 blocks side by side, 25 blocks in total, all lined up nicely. It doesn't matter which way you put it. I'm going to choose to put the top protrusion facing the left side for this building. And we just want to line it up nicely so it's right there in the center. The house is nearly complete. The covers are very simple. Just place them and they will line up as you go along. So they're all there. But we thought no house would be complete without a roof. How would Santa Claus get in? So just 2 blocks, stack them on top of each other, and you put it like that. Now, while there's 4 holes for you to put the top protrusion, connected to a top protrusion, we would advise that you put it into the connection piece that has the bottom protrusion connected to it. This is because, if you notice carefully, there's a small divot over here that allows you to run a wire through any sort of legs or structures that you make and come out right at the top. If you put it in any other hole, those would be closed off. So if you'd want to run a wire through, our advice would be connect your piece to the hole that has the bottom protrusion connecting to it. And so there you have it. A nice little house with a working door. I hope you've enjoyed this. We'll put up more videos on how to build with Aran Blocks, but this gives you a good basics to start off with. And if you ever run into problems while building with Aran Blocks, just remember, think through the layers, take them apart, make sure you're fairly consistent with which ways the bottom and top protrusions are facing. And Hope you have lots of fun. Thank you.